Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel and the 26th coffee stream. And wow, you guys, I just want to say thank you. As we start off here, because I went to bed last night and I had already broken 200 subscribers. I was at 208 last night, and I woke up this morning to 219, and that's like that's amazing, you guys. Thank you so much for all your support. Um, that was a great way to start my day. Seeing that I had 219 subscribers, and that means a lot to me that you guys really like my stuff enough to subscribe and pass it along. And Opinionated Scotsman too. Did you have an account problem? So let's say hi to Jacob Gulf City Navo, Opinionated Scotsman 2. Chadwick, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Shadow. Yeah, Mediker. Hi, Nico. Yeah, Mediker's doing a stream. The Magister. Hello. Hi, Gunfox. So I just thank you guys so much for subscribing and sharing my stuff and coming in and coming back to watch every day. I can't thank you guys enough. And yeah, as for Mediker's streaming, I had no idea he was going to stream right now. So yeah, that should be interesting. Oh, good morning, old grouchy gamer. Good morning, Churchy. And hello, Ranting Monkey. And thank you again, Ranting Monkey, for having me on Lords of the Night. That was so fun. That was really fun. I'm so happy I got to come and hang out with you and Scribe and Tatsu. That was a lot of fun, and thanks for having me. Oh, hello. There's some new people. Link is asleep on my stomach, and I can't get up to my computer. Aw, that's adorable. The great YouTube purge has started. Yeah, it's I wonder if Mediker is actually done with the internet, or if he's just gonna do an internet aristocrat again. Because he has done that quite often. He's nuked his channels. You were awesome last night. You laughing during the birthday song was freaking funny. Well, Scribe braying like a wounded donkey was freaking funny. It was freaking hilarious. I had actual tears running down my face. I was laughing so hard. So yeah, it was a great time last night. Oh, hello, Grisella. Thank you. I am well. They delete messages without the person knowing. Oh. Well, special YouTube. So yeah, I don't know what Mediker's plan is, and I don't honestly get all the drama. Like, I think it's mostly the fan bases that are the problem. But I don't know the whole ins and outs of everything, because a lot of stuff happens like on the kill stream and stuff when I'm either in bed or on Minions. So I miss a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm not too well versed on what's going on, so I try not to talk about it and make a fool out of myself. Um, yeah, Google moderators. I've been pissed about it. Yeah, it's a bot. I don't know. I don't know if Medicre's quitting again. Apparently, apparently he's done. Andy's doing a great job making himself look like an idiot. Yeah, well, Andy doesn't have to try hard to make himself look like an idiot. I followed him for I've been subbed to him for almost a year now, and I've tried to like Andy, but he's too naive, and he believes it's like he's led every which way, and he doesn't have enough confidence in himself to just be like, no, this is stupid, I'm not doing this. And then things just end up going up in flames for him over and over again. Hi, Hate Camel. Hi, Lucky Pop Tart. You will likely see a lot of people switch to BitChute. Yeah, it's just a bunch of internet drama that no one should even worry about. Yeah, I'll take you over Medicare any day. Oh, thanks, Nico. BitChute will likely be the next YouTube for the right. Andy went downhill so fast after Chris left. Yeah. You see, he is easily influenced, unfortunately. Pain is one hell of a drug. Yeah. So, yesterday, weed became legal in Canada. And I remember I mentioned last night on Lords of the Night that I wasn't sure how at least it was going to be sold in Ontario, but somebody actually was nice enough to at me on Twitter and oh, cocaine. Oh, okay. That pain could be a hell of a drug too, though, Chadwick. So you know. Um, so apparently for Ontario at least, you have to buy your legal weed online through the government websites like Tweed or I can't remember the other one. So right now you have to order it online in Ontario, and then Canada Post will deliver your weed to you. Except Canada Post is looking at going on strike next Monday, so I don't know how people plan on getting their weed. I bet your phone was getting blown up last night. Yeah, it was. It's weird. Ever since the new iOS update, it turns on Do Not Disturb after 11 o'clock because I have my phone set to tell me to go to bed at 11 and wake up at 6. So it turns on Do Not Disturb between those hours, so I don't get the notifications till the morning. And then my phone had I don't know, over 30 notifications I had. So yeah, it was interesting to say the least. A Canada Post was not offered enough maple syrup. That's awesome. Chocolate chip cookies are a hell of a drug too. Yep, they sure are. Oh, you have that same problem too? Your phone goes on Do Not Disturb? Just without you asking it to? Oh, cake. Cake is good. I like cake. You gotta buy your weed from the government, but then who will tell you about conspiracy theories about aliens and Illuminati from like my current drug dealer does? Oh my god, you have that too? That's funny as fuck. Oh, your iPad does it. Okay. Yeah, I ate the whole box of snickerdoodle cookies. I'm ashamed, but also quite happy. Yeah, I feel you on that. I mute my phone before I go to bed. I set an alarm 5 minutes before your stream starts. Oh, thanks, man. I take it your phone is still smoking from the nuke. No, it's doing all right. It's doing all right. So I've got a few stories for everyone here today. I went and did some digging and got several things DM'd to myself here. So let's get to Twitter while I do that. And while I get to Twitter, let me remind you to please like and share the stream if you haven't already. That helps me so much. I turn my phone off when I'm not on work hours. Yeah, that makes sense. Weed becomes legal, then post office goes on strike. Boy, they didn't anticipate that. Yeah, see, Canada Post has been bitching for years. They tried to go on strike last year too, and it last minute was canceled. So what happened last night? I broke 200 subscribers, so my phone was like, so and so subscribed, so and so subscribed, so and so subscribed. My phone was just going crazy. Hi, Cynical Lindsay. Yeah, I already licked the smash button. Thank you very much for licking the smash button, Jacob Gull City Navo. Also, there are links in the description to Streamlabs and Patreon. If you are able, and only if you are able, please consider donating. That would be a great help to me. But also liking and sharing is super helpful, and I still can't believe I got over 200 subs. It makes me so happy. Oh, YouTube is giving the Scotsman a hammer. Yeah, I'm pretty happy, Poppy. I'm going to adult and have cake for breakfast when this kitty stops oppressing me for his cuddles. Isn't it awesome when you can do that as an adult? Just like, fuck it, I want cake for breakfast. I love that. I really, really, really like that. It makes me very happy. So, I ended yesterday's stream with a little bit of a rant about Paul Bernardo and how that piece of shit was asking for parole. About half an hour after I stopped the stream, the decision came down. So, we're going to cover this story. Board returns its decision soon after families and survivors read victim impact statements. Anyone want to guess what the decision was? And it was a good decision. I'm not mad about the decision. Cake can be eaten for breakfast. If you can eat pancakes, you can eat cake. That's my thinking too. I'm doing my current addiction playing Fallout New Vegas. Ooh. See, if I didn't have to operate the computer and read news stories to you guys while I was doing this, I would be playing Dreamcast right now because Pincalo set up the TV for me. Who? Okay, Paul Bernardo. I'm glad I don't have kids, so I don't have to be a role model. Poppy, that's awesome. Why did the bad joke? All the visually impaired people raise your hand so I can count you pop in my head. That's freaking hilarious. So Paul Bernardo's parole was denied.
Heading level 2. Board returns its decision soon after families and a survivor read impact statements. CBC News middle dot. Posted. October's. Paul Bernardo is shown in a courtroom sketch from provincial court proceedings earlier this month on a minor weapons charge that was ultimately dismissed. Bernardo was denied parole Wednesday. Greg Banning/Canadian. A National Parole Board panel has decided Paul Bernardo will remain behind bars. The Ontario rapist and killer was denied Wednesday in his first attempt at getting parole. You are
good, and I hope every attempt ends the same way.
The decision was announced soon after the mothers of 2 of Bernardo's victims and a woman who survived an attack read impact statements to the panel, and Bernardo spoke. You are correct. Debbie Mahaffey told the hearing that today has been an emotional hell for her because she had to be in the same room as her daughter's killer.
Yeah. Kristen French and Leslie Mahaffey were the 2 teenagers killed, plus Tammy Homolka, which was Karla Homolka's baby sister. She was 15. Yeah. Denied parole? Good. Nothing value lost. Yep. He killed 3. Chadwick. He killed 2 teenagers, like I said, named Kristen French and Leslie Mahaffey. And his wonderful girlfriend at the time, Karla Homolka, gifted him her 15-year-old sister for Christmas, and they took turns raping and then killing her. And he was also the Scarborough rapist of the late 80s. He was called the balcony rapist. He would break in through women's balconies and rape them. And the only reason that they found out that he was the the only reason that he was found out to be the rapist is Karla Homolka got angry at him and went to the police and said, I know who the Scarborough rapist is. And that is why she only got 12 years in prison for her part in all of this bullshit. Nico says, it bothers me that the Canadian who decapitated and cannibalized someone on a Greyhound bus is free. Yeah, that bothers me too. He was obviously quite mentally ill and should probably be supervised in an appropriate institution. Kill them both. Yeah, Karla Homolka is fucking free now. Yes, her sister. Yes, Poppy, her sister. Her little sister was a fucking Christmas present to this asshole, and she only got 12 years because she flipped on him for the rapes. I hate plea deals sometimes. I really do, because when she was freed, she was granted plastic surgery and a new identity, and she was allowed to procreate. He should be taken around the back and shot. Yeah, you know what? He's one of the reasons that because I have a hard time deciding on whether I agree with capital punishment, and Paul Bernardo is one of the people that makes me lean towards yes. He lives in BC and goes by the Beardbarian now. Oh, damn. So about that censorship, huh? And also, good morning to blind person all. Good morning, Hog Silk. Or good afternoon. Yep, sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet and do what needs to be done. People like that just need to be put down. Yep. Oh, hello. Thank you for subscribing, and I'm glad you enjoyed me on Lords of the Night, and welcome. Welcome, Dreadwater77. I'm glad you're here, and I hope you enjoy it.
I don't want to be here, Mahaffey said at the hearing in Millhaven Correctional Center, east of Bath. And I do not want to be in the same room with Bernardo. I do not want to participate. Yet, here I am. Leslie Mahaffey was 14 years old when she was kidnapped, tortured and killed by Bernardo and then girlfriend Karla Homolka. Handout/Canadian Press. Bernardo is serving a life sentence for the kidnapping, rapes, and first-degree murders of 2 teenage girls in the early 1990s, including Mahaffey's daughter, and 2 counts of aggravated sexual assault. The designated dangerous offender had been eligible for full parole since February, having served 25 years behind bars.
So he is a dangerous offender and he's still allowed parole. Okay, you know what? That needs to be changed. I thought it had been changed. It needs to fucking change. I am not for it. I think that they should spend a long, lonely life locked in a cell eating. Yeah, the shitty part is, in Canada, they've just done away with solitary confinement. And that's the only problem is I don't want taxpayers to have to pay for fucking housing and food, like Chadwick said, for a piece of shit like this who doesn't care. He's a psychopath. He doesn't care. He and if anyone did what he did and still thinks after 25 years that he deserves freedom, he's a fucking psychopath.
Leslie Mahaffey was 14 years old when she was kidnapped, tortured, and killed in June 1991 at the Port Dalhousie, home of Bernardo and his then-girlfriend, Carla Homolka. They then dismembered her body, encasing her remains in cement and dumping them in a nearby lake. We have to relive Leslie's pain and horror, Mahaffey said. Our pain and horror, as if it happened yesterday. Kristen French was 15 when she was tortured and killed by Bernardo and Homolka. Handout/Canadian. Donna French told the hearing that Donna French's daughter, Kristen, was 15 when she was kidnapped by Bernardo and Homolka and tortured for 3 days, before she was killed. French told the hearing that Bernardo should never see freedom again. How does one describe such immeasurable pain so as to give even the slightest understanding of the overwhelming sadness, the emptiness, and pain we feel even after 26 years of dealing with our loss, French said. She also noted that the law was changed after Bernardo's incarceration to allow for consecutive periods of parole ineligibility. Members of Kristen French's family look on as their lawyer, Tim Danson, speaks to reporters after the parole board decision. Marie Marissi/CBC. He reported the CBC's Ron Charles watched the parole hearing via video feed with other. He reported the 2 mothers read their statements from behind Bernardo, and that Bernardo, sitting between his lawyer and his parole officer, looked down at the table with his hands in his lap as they spoke. Heading Level 2. Survivor speaks. A third woman also spoke to the board. She is one of 14 women Bernardo admitted to raping.
Yes, 14 women. He admitted to raping as the balcony rapist. I don't get mad at the jails for feeding green bologna here for breakfast, lunch, and dinner around because they're not spending money. Yeah, you know what?
She described how she was walking home on an evening in May 1988 when Bernardo attacked her from behind, dragged her into some bushes and raped her. The result has been emotional devastation from which she has never recovered, she said. After the assault, I really became a shell of a person, she said. He should never be considered for any freedom for the rest of his life. There's been never any indication whatsoever of remorse. Tim Danson, lawyer. Bernardo, 54, spoke after the 3 women. He portrayed himself as someone whose self-esteem was damaged by a childhood speech impediment. He felt increasingly inadequate, Bernardo said, adding he was afraid to interact with people. Social anxiety, he said, became sexual. He fretted constantly about being unable to perform.
You know what, you piece of shit? Fuck off. I had a speech impediment and social anxiety, so I raped 14 women and killed 3 teenage girls. Feel sorry for me. Go fuck yourself. Just fuck right off with that, Paul Bernardo. What the hell is this? This is the ramblings of a psychopath, is what this is. Is this about Andy Worski? No, this is about Paul Bernardo. I say we go back to the medieval days, torture. Yeah, you know what? You forgot to add the shitty French accent. Society would be far better off destroying rabid animals like him. Yeah?
The more insecure I felt, the more I tried to control, he said. My self-esteem would get better that way.
Okay, you know what? Stop parroting some of the shit that your jailhouse shrink is telling you, and just own the fact that you are a monster who should never see the light of day again. Oh wait, you're a psychopath. You're incapable of doing that. Okay, I gotcha.
Bernardo was also convicted of manslaughter in the December 1990 death of Homolka's younger sister, Tammy. The 15-year-old girl died after the pair drugged and sexually assaulted her. Homolka later said she wanted Bernardo to have Tammy's virginity as a Christmas present. You are.
See? I wasn't joking. She wanted him to have her sister's virginity as a Christmas present. Good morning, Robert Burke. If ever there was a real need for lynch mobs. Yeah. This was a huge case in the 90s in Canada. People were just, this was, like, and I was really young. Like, when he was on trial, I think I was like 4 or 5, and I remember listening to the news with my mom. And I remember not understanding, obviously, because I was so little, but I remember the news and I remember the trial. It was a big deal. Just certain crimes are unforgivable in my eyes. Yeah. It's simple. If you harm a child, you die. I agree with that. This is a prime example of why we need to reinstate capital punishment. We used to have it. Yeah, Canada actually had capital punishment on the books until the 60s, I believe. Until Stephen Prescott, or was it Trescott or Prescott? I can't remember if it was Trescott or Prescott. But anyway, there was a boy in 1959 who was accused of rape and murder, and convicted, actually, wrongfully. And he was actually going to be sentenced to hang. He was, I think he was 14 when they were going to hang him for the rape and murder of his classmate. And it took them, he spent almost 30 years in prison, I believe, until he was exonerated. And his case was why the death penalty was what's it called? So this was Poppy says this isn't a good thing to listen to before we go to sleep. Don't worry, Poppy. I was getting this story out of the way. The rest of them aren't bad. Some of them are actually kind of funny. So there's some more on this story, but I'm not gonna finish it because I'm already really fucking pissed off at his ridiculous excuses. We have had 2 death penalty cases in Colorado, but they ended up with life instead. Okay. Death penalty in the UK was stopped in the 60s as well. Okay. A blind press? Well, that's what happens when the cops do not do their jobs correctly and follow the facts. Yeah. Yep, we're done. We're done with that article. I've closed it. Let's find the next one. Some of them, these are interesting here. Let's see here. Oh, here's one that kind of got me annoyed. Teaching kids to be inclusive with disabilities. Most children are inclusive of disabilities. It's when they learn things from their parents that they become an issue. Yeah, there are some asshole children, but most children are very willing to learn about this. So this is really kind of annoying. This is from the Toronto Star. Uh-oh, your phone or YouTube is messing up bad now. Oh no. Well, I hope it's neither. I hope
Heading level
nothing's
1.
messing up.
Teaching kids to be heading level 1. Teaching kids to be allies for disability inclusion. Work by Sally Lindsay. Sunday, October 14th. To share on face. Share more. Social inclusion is a key social determinant of health. Without it, people are more susceptible to anxiety, depression, and poor health outcomes. Young people with disabilities often experience the consequences of stigma, but we can all play a part in changing that, even our kids. You are current.
Okay, but kids. As somebody who was a child with a disability who went to school with kids, it was, yes, there was some stigma, but it was mostly because from like older people. Like a lot of kids just played with me. Like we adapted shit. Like yeah, like I said, there were some stupid kids that teased me and shit, but like, oh good. Okay, good. Poppy, I think it was your phone. Okay, it's letting me type now, says Poppy. Okay, good. Don't scare me like that. um, yeah, it's, I don't know.
There are at least 400,000 children and young adults up to the age of 24 with disabilities in Canada. You are currently on.
Okay. If they're over 18, what?
More than half of children with a disability have either one close friend or no close friends at all. Dreamstime figure.
Okay, I had one close friend, yes, but I don't know.
More than half of children with a disability have either one close friend or no close friends at all. Dreamstime. Enda. More than at Holland Bloorview Kids Rehabilitation Hospital, Holland Bloorview, where I work as a senior scientist. Our Dear Everybody campaign is raising awareness of the stigma kids and young adults with disabilities face. At my academic home, the University of Toronto's Faculty of Medicine, a campaign called We All Belong calls upon the community to nurture an environment where people of all races, genders, sexual orientations, and abilities feel welcomed and respected. Play.
Ooh.
Pause.
Pincalo says he thinks he just found my chair. Ooh. I didn't have a disability and I only had one close friend in elementary. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of kids that don't have disabilities and only had a couple of close friends. Like, the more you force people to include people just because they should be included, the more animosity you're going to have. Like, you have to let people meet people and learn about people on their own. You can't force this on. You cannot force social behavior.
More than half of children with a disability. I led the Transitions and Inclusive Environments Lab, TRAIL, at Holland Bloorview's Research Institute, the Bloorview Research Institute, where we develop programs and interventions to help foster welcoming and supportive environments for kids and youth at school, work, and in the community. We're especially interested in how young people transition between environments and from childhood into adulthood. You are.
How young people, how more vague could you possibly be, author of this article? I only had two close friends, says Darkwater77. Yeah. See? This is not just limited to people with disabilities.
Earlier this year, we published a study involving young people with and without disabilities to outline a model for developing what is called disability confidence, the ability to include and work with a person with a disability. We identified 4 stages that led to the growth of this kind of confidence. You are currently on a text element.
Wait, what?
Earlier this year, we published a study involving young people with and without disabilities to outline a model for developing what is called disability confidence, the ability to include and work with a person with a disability. We identified 4 stages that led to the growth of this kind of confidence.
Disability confidence? Pincalo, do you have disability confidence now that you've been with me for 12 years?
Play.
Friendship has to form organically. You can't force it. Exactly. All you people with friends. Pff, yeah. Hi, Scribe. No comment.
Pause.
Scribbles, yes.
The continuum often starts with some discomfort, then moves into people reaching beyond their comfort zone to begin to understand and minimize differences between themselves and someone with a disability. This can lead to broadened perspectives and, ultimately, disability confidence, empathy, comfort, and understanding the abilities of people with a disability.
I should message my best friend of 20 years and go, hi, do you have disability confidence because you're my friend? Do you know why what, how stupid is this bullshit? Good Lord. Isn't this what happens to any friendship? Like you start talking to somebody and you're not sure, and you learn about them and your perspectives about them broaden, and then you have confidence in being their friend. Like, how is this new specifically to disabled people? I don't understand.
Right now, much of my work focuses on improving inclusion and employment opportunities for young people with disabilities because their job rates are significantly lower than their peers who don't have disabilities. You are currently on a text element.
This is true. And it is because employers don't understand what they can do to help disabled people. I thought I'd seen enough stupid on Twitter just before this article. No. Yeah. My school did a thing where we did programs with the special eds and kindergartners. It was because it was easier for people to look, or they looked up to the kids, and it was less insulting. It is less insulting. My best friend is the only one who remembers I'm going blind. My family forgets all the time. My family needs the training, yeah. But like, seriously, Scribe, since you're friends with Monkey, do you have disability confidence?
But inclusion starts early. Kids can play a big role in helping their peers with disabilities feel welcome and valued. You are.
But it's not like, okay, I'm sorry, but disabled kids, we do get teased a little bit more, and it sucks. But there's always kids that are like, hey, that's wrong. Don't do that. And they don't need to be taught that that's wrong. Don't do that. Why do people not give children the credit? First of all, you want to give children the fucking choice to choose their genders, but you can't give them enough credit not to be mean to the disabled person? Are you fucking serious right now? How much sense does that make? Blind's family still forgets. No joke, her mother's terrible for it. Yep. Like, seriously, how can you expect children to be able to choose what gender they can be, but you can't give them credit not to be mean to the disabled kid? You can't give them enough credit to make friends with the disabled kid without your fucking intervention. Wow. That makes a whole lot of sense. Good job. No, it doesn't make sense. I have one good friend and we've been married for 37 years. Well, that's awesome. Kids are both far crueler than adults and have a thicker skin for bullying. This is both statements are true. I mean, the only thing is that people need to understand what the disabled kid or friend can and can't do and just work around it. Yeah.
Pause.
I forget sometimes too. I go to send you a cute meme or animal picture on Twitter and go, oh yeah, press can't appreciate that. Yeah.
An important first step is to encourage your child to get to know people with disabilities. They're regular people just like everyone else. This can help eliminate stigma by opening the door for kids to learn what they have in common with their peers and to consider their perspectives. Play.
Okay, but you don't just randomly one day be like, hi, little Timmy, do you know what you should do? You should be friends with a disabled person. That's not how that works. What you do is when you see a disabled person and your kid has questions, then you answer them. You don't fucking shush them. I've seen parents do that all the time. Like there are kids that will see me walking with my cane and they'll be like, "Look, mommy, that lady has a stick." And they're like, "Yes, just don't, just shh." And I will be like, "Yes, I do. It's called a cane and it helps me see where I'm going," because that's how they learn. Like, and it's all the parents. It's kids. Oh yeah, no, I'm good with not being able to see two girls, one cup. I'm happy. My first bully bullied me in school because of my disability. Guess what? We quickly became good friends. Yeah. My best friend became my best friend because we had to walk across the street to play in our field, our playground, because our school had two playgrounds, one for the little kids and one for the bigger kids, and the one for the bigger kids was across the street. So we were looking for a crossing buddy for me, and she was the only one that raised her hand, and that was in third grade. And after we crossed the street the first day at recess, we've just decided to play together, and we've got really close, and we've been best friends ever since. We're auntie to each other's children. I was a bridesmaid at her wedding. Like we're super close. Hi, Sir Adamantine, you're awake. Oh, it's gross. I've heard the audio. Kids used to break my glasses a lot in elementary. My mom became class mom, and it was really nice. Kids stopped bothering me. I had a kid take my cane once and hide it on me, and I had a kid break my cane once. But she broke my cane because she was angry at me and my best friend for discovering that she was lying to both of us and trying to break up our friendship. So it wasn't she didn't break my cane because she hated me because I was blind. She broke my cane because she was mad at me for not being her friend. And that's completely different. It happens occasionally, says Sir Adamantine, yes. It's cool you're still friends with someone from grade school. I have one friends from high school, and we can still go months without talking to each other. Yeah, we can go months without talking to each other and then pick it up like we've never stopped. Thankfully now she's got a phone again, so we can text, and we text like all the time. So it's great, and I'm happy having like very few friends, because I find the more friends you have, the more chance you have of getting two-faced, backstabby, ridiculous people around you. So this article is ridiculous.
Third party ad comp. Heading
Is
level
it
4.
over?
You might be interested in.
It is over. Oh. But yes, I that article got me annoyed yesterday. Let's see, what other stuff do I have for you here? A dark day for Canada, say anti-pot activists. Yes, yes, it's a horrible day in Canada. Terrible, horrible day. That's why I keep very small circles. If anything happens, I know who to go to. Yep. Legalization will bring horrendous public health hazards, will it? Yes, because pot is heroin, everyone. Speaking of which, before we read this article about fear-mongering about a fucking plant, all right.
Heading level 2. Legalization will bring horrendous public health hazards. Groups warn. You are currently on a heading level.
That's okay, Poppy. Your responses aren't that late. I'm hitting my head against a wall now. I hear a 420 in progress. Yep.
The Canadian Press Middle Dot posted. Members of various anti-legalization groups warned about the public health risks posed by cannabis from the steps of the Vancouver Art Gallery on Wednesday. CBC. 550. A coalition of groups concerned about the health risks associated with marijuana is calling legalization a dark day for Canada.
And how many of you drink to excess? I wonder. Coalition of activist groups. You should have fewer friends than fingers on your hand unless you had a blender accident in the past. I'm intending to agree with you. They're fear-mongering about a plant. They ran out of other stuff to fear-monger about, apparently. Yeah, much like every argument, both of the far sides are stupid. Yep. I like how your phone says marijuana.
Members of Smart Approaches to Marijuana Canada, Air We Share and Airspace Action on Smoking and Health tried to share the message from the steps of the Vancouver Art Gallery on Wednesday. List 1 item. Bullet. Link. Everything's got to go. Vancouver dispensaries clear shelves. End of list. List 1 item. Bullet. Link. Canada's giant public health experiment with legalized cannabis begins.
Giant public health experiment?
You are coalition spokesperson. End of list. Coalition spokesperson Pamela McCall said she believes legalization normalizes a dangerous substance and positions Canada to be the base of the marijuana industry's global expansion. You are currently.
So? It's not fentanyl. Fuck off. Go away. Go away. It's not fucking crack. It's not fentanyl. It's not heroin. Where are the statistics that show that people have died just smoking weed without anything in it, without drinking, without any extra drugs? Where are those? Where are the statistics that show that people will smoke a joint and then beat their partners? Oh wait, there aren't any. Sorry, I'm answering a text message from my orientation and mobility instructor. But seriously, potheads can get obnoxious sometimes. Yeah, there are some potheads that are stupid. Yes, my brother has an anxiety disorder. They almost destroyed his liver with meds. Now we just hop across the border once a month to Colorado, and he lives a normal life. Yes. The 30% of potheads need to be slapped. And these whiners need to go smoke something. Yes. To both. Have these idiots ever encountered a pot smoker? We can't exactly take a swing at people, let alone peel our asses off the couch. See, but there are functional potheads. Like, unless I smoke tons and tons and tons, I will smoke and then like go do the dishes and fold laundry, and like we'll be at the cottage in Pink Hollow. We'll be mowing the 1.5 acres of grass that we have for the joint movement. Like, it's just, you can be a functional pothead. Not whiners? Well, you're winos. Oh, okay. I smoked herb for nearly 20 years, never did anything violent while high. Yep. With how sensitive people are now, I say we bring back the old grim fairy tales. I remember where it ends. One ends where everyone was dead. Yeah. Yeah. Plenty of people smoke weed and have full-time jobs. Yep. Absolutely.
It is a very, very dark day for Canada, she told a crowd of gathered media. The damage that is going to ensue from this policy change will be horrendous in terms of drug driving, cognitive damage to children, more addiction, more costs. The list goes on, she said. You are currently on a text element.
Yes, yes. It's a horribly dark day for Canada. Everything that was in the Reefer Madness films from the 30s is going to start happening now. Cats and dogs are going to fuck. Planes are going to fall from the sky. Children are just going to run around beating people up for their weed. It's just going to be a horrible gang state in Canada. I was a functional pothead. I smoked nothing but sativas. Same, Churchy. The way they did this is making me more paranoid. I'm not a functional pothead, but I smoke it occasionally. So I haven't exactly built up a tolerance. Oh, okay, I gotcha. I get all of my shit done before I smoke. It's called being responsible. Yes, that's true. And this is why the laws are horrible, says Pincalo. You are much more likely to become violent on alcohol than weed. Yep. I've been drinking and smoking and have only been violent under the influence of alcohol, not once from weed. I hear weed makes you hungry for human flesh. Nico. Hey now, I've seen a dog rape a very unhappy cat. It happens. Cats and dogs living together, it'll be anarchy, yes. Man, keeping an eye on chat, answering text messages.
McCall said she wants to see regulation tightened to ban smoking marijuana from any multi-unit residence and anywhere that children live.
So people in apartments shouldn't be allowed to smoke weed, and parents shouldn't be allowed to smoke weed after their kids go to bed? But it's okay to smoke cigarettes and drink, right? Go fuck yourself, you uptight, crazy person. Seriously. Smoke a joint, calm the fuck down. There's so many things they prescribe pills for that pot could take care of without any side effects. Yep. I can't wait for it to be legalized in Florida, says Mr. Shadow. Nothing like mowing 3 acres with a push mower. Takes about 3 joints. And there's nothing like getting weed from a dispensary at Beat Street shit. I'm curious to see what the government stuff is like. Do I like the fact that I need to buy it online right now and have it mailed to me? No, not particularly. Am I going to wait a little bit before I try anything? Yeah, probably. I don't know.
It's Canada went to pot day, she declared. It's Canada went to pot day, she declared.
Canada went to pot day.
Robot activists said claims presented by the groups were not all backed up by research. CBC. Heading level 2. Too far, way too soon. Kevin Sabet, a former senior advisor at the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy, said Canada's drug policies have effects beyond its borders. He compared big cannabis to big tobacco and warned that legalization will mean the rise of large cannabis corporations that don't have an interest in public health. You are currently on.
I can see that argument. Hi, Link. And Canada Post is about, yep.
We're going way too far, way too soon, Sabet said. The coalition announced the launch of a new website Wednesday for filing complaints about the law and reporting violations at potwatch.org.
Potwatch.org? And how do you report violations?
Steps away from the protest. People purchased pot at a makeshift booth. CBC. Heading level 2. Proper legalization. Across the square, a group of pro-pot advocates also shared an anti-big cannabis message from a makeshift booth selling marijuana and displaying flints. Dylan McCardle said the sale was an act of civil disobedience intended to draw attention to the monopoly forming in the industry. We're protesting for the proper legalization of cannabis. We want to see free weed for medical needs and equal rights for every Canadian citizen to grow it, smoke it and sell it, of course over the age of 19, said McCardle. You are.
What's wrong with that?
List one item. Bullet link. Canadians welcome legal pot sales. Put up end of list. Pot activist Anil Stenkiya said he was enraged when he read a sign on the opposing side that said marijuana kills brain cells. This is disgusting, and more of this, over again, from people who haven't bothered to do 20 honest hours of research, he said. You are currently on. Toffer Graham and Tristan Risk, who were buying pot at the stand, said they took the day off work to celebrate legalization.
Okay, no. See, this is my problem with the 30 percenters here. Because if you are if you are still growing, like if you're a teenager, your brain's not done growing. So yeah, pot's gonna have more adverse effects on you. So it could damage your brain if used excessively, and you don't take the day off work to celebrate pot legalization. Smoking is 19, that's why, yeah. Because it's a day, it's yay, it's legal. Fucking go buy some weed after work and smoke. Don't take the day off work to celebrate. Come on, grow the fuck up. Seriously. They were trying for 25 plus. Yeah, they were. The only way weed kills your brain cells is if you hold your breath too long, and that's just that's the oxygen deprivation. Says straight cis male. Yes, you can vote before you can buy smokes. And Sir Adamantine, you want to hear this? This is hilarious. You're legally allowed to possess cigarettes at 16, but you're not allowed to buy them, and people aren't allowed to buy them for you. So you are allowed to smoke. Like if you have a cigarette in your hand and you're smoking it and you're over the age of 16, you're not breaking the law. However, obtaining that cigarette is against the law until you're 19. They're not using any legit science. All they're using is stats from pharmaceuticals and non-accredited institutions. Yeah, Pinkalo, that's true. And Sir Adamantine, yes, that is ass backwards. Nonsense. I've been holding my breath for the last hour. Did no harm to me. That's awesome, Hog Silk.
Graham said it means he won't have to buy pot from his friends anymore, while Risk said she sees legalization as a progressive step. I like that I can do it legally, safely and publicly. I don't have to feel like sneaky teenager anymore. You are currently on a tech with files from John Hernandez.
I never felt like a sneaky teenager because I'm not. You don't need to do it public. That's the thing. You don't need to do it publicly because it's legal. Just fucking go and buy it and smoke. Like, you don't need to be sitting in the park smoking your weed. Like, just be responsible with it. You don't have to be freaking in the park with your bong. You don't have to be smoking your joint where the children are playing. Just like you don't smoke cigarettes near like there's laws that say don't smoke cigarettes in parks and shit like that. At least here. So just follow those same laws with your joints and shit. Don't be. How about voting age of 25? Once the voting age is developed, you know what? I don't disagree with that. Hi, Costin. Exactly. All I'm asking is to be able to smoke it when you want. You don't have to smoke it in public, but if I'm out fishing, I want to be able to smoke my bowl when I want to relax. Exactly, Chadwick. 25 would be a good age for voting, says Sir Adamantine. Yeah. I have a phobia of going to the park by myself. I used to go to draw, but some women called the cops on me because I wasn't there with a child. Okay, that's ridiculous. 25 and a taxpayer. Yep. I would agree with that. Gotta plug in my computer. It is going to die soon. There we go. All right. Now, Ontario Cannabis Store mislabels genital spray as oral. This is gonna be my last story, guys. It made me laugh, so I thought I would share this with you.
Currently on a link. Heading level 1. Ontario Cannabis Store mislabels genital spray as oral product in first day blunder. Fleur de Lune Intimate Spray. Image. Fleur de Lune Intimate Spray is shown in this photo posted on the Ontario Cannabis Store website. The only problem is that the Ontario Cannabis Store had initially mislabeled how to apply the product, saying it was for sublingual use, which means under the tongue. In other words, orally. The Canadian Press/HO. 75. Published Wednesday. Last updated Wednesday. Toronto. A perusal of the Ontario Cannabis Store's online portal on the first day of legalization turned up an array of expected products, various strains of dried weed, oils and tinctures, and accessories needed to use them. But also on offer is a cannabis-infused intimate spray, marketed under the enticingly named Fleur de Lune, which contains 8 milligrams of the psychoactive ingredient THC, as well as the cannabinoid CBD. You are currently on. The only problem is that the Ontario Cannabis Store had initially mislabeled how to apply the product, saying it was for sublingual use, which means under the tongue. In other words, orally.
Oops. Whoopsie. Don't do that. Don't spray the genital spray in your mouth.
FSK In fact, the spray made by Hexo Corporation is meant to be applied on the genitals, particularly for women, to reduce such symptoms as inflammation and pain, said Terry Lake, the Quebec-based company's vice president of corporate social responsibility. We always knew there was going to be bumps along the road. No country has done this to this extent, Lake said of Canada's rollout of legalized pot. It's a product like many that are used today for intimate areas of the body, but it should be labeled as such. Obviously, there's a mistake there that needs to be corrected, so we certainly will be following up with them to ensure that the right information is being given to consumers.
Yeah, see, this made me giggle. I figured we could end the stream on a funny note.
The product description was corrected by the Ontario Cannabis Store after the Canadian Press reached out for comment, but a spokesperson for the store did not respond to questions about how the error happened, or whether the spray is an appropriate product for the province to be selling.
Well, why would it not be an appropriate product? It was just a labeling accident. The vagina is porous, right? It's got pores in it. Like it's subcutaneous, like your mouth type of thing. So you can apply it, like if you're having pain, you can apply it. They also have THC infused lube, which is apparently supposed to be really awesome. So someone consumed the nut butter. All right, see you later, Costin. Yes, Pincalo, interesting. There's apparently it's called Foria oil. There's there's one that Tweed sells called Foria oil, and it's THC and CBD infused lubricant for sex.
Asked Wednesday by reporters at the Ontario Legislature about the appropriateness of the spray, Finance Minister Vic Fedeli would only say, "We'll leave it to the Capital Gammas Feminine Ordinal Indicator Ontario Cannabis Store to continue to put products out there that the people of Ontario are looking forward to purchasing." The 30-milliliter bottle of Fleur de Lune Intimate Spray, which has been approved by Health Canada, sells online for $82.95 and yields about 300 shots of mist.
Not bad.
The thing about cannabis is that one of the largest areas of concentrations of cannabinoid receptors in the body is in fact the skin, Lake said Wednesday from Gatineau. How much of the spray a consumer should use at a given time is an individual decision, he said, because when it comes to cannabis, everyone is different. So there is no one dose that's right for any one particular person. Everybody responds to cannabis in a different way, and it may be because genetically you respond differently. It may be because you haven't used cannabis before, so you have a different tolerance level. You are currently on it. That's why the marijuana industry advises consumers to start low and go slow. Lake added, see how you respond to the low dose and then go up gradually as you understand the effect it's having on your body. However, one critical aspect to note is that the cannabis-based spray is made with MCT, medium-chain triglyceride, oil, which reacts chemically with latex, the substance from which most condoms are made. As condoms are used to prevent pregnancy and sexually transmitted diseases, you would have to be very careful, suggested Lake. 75. 70 link. Gen link. News heading level 3. Most watched.
And that's the end of that story. So I don't think that the news shouldn't be asking whether or not it's safe to be sold. I think it was just a mistake in labeling. You can also get alcohol poisoning from pouring vodka in your butthole. Wish they had heroin lube. Oh dear. So that's the end of that story, guys. We're going to go until 11:15. So if anyone's got any comments or any questions for me, now's your time. Like I said, if tomorrow is Friday, so it's guest day. I don't have a guest yet. So if I don't get one, I will most likely do a couple of news stories at the beginning and then throw the Hangouts link in chat for anyone who wishes to come and say hello. And then don't forget, Saturday is the Star Trek stream where we talk about the DS9 pilot, and it's going to be the usual suspects, Polydub, Hammer, and Skeptalk, but we are also going to have a bit of a celebrity guest, Failure, Accomplished and / or Terminated, whichever account he uses to log in, will be joining us, and I'm really excited about that. I would love to join sometime, says Cynical Lindsay. Well, you know what? Oh, I saw that video, Nico. I will check it out. Oh, I'll be at work tomorrow. Oh, that sucks, Gunfox. Like Metamucil on steroids. Was Trudeau responsible for the legalization? Kinda, sort of. He kind of just said that that was one of his campaign promises, and then he just kind of delegated the job to his people. Just call him Failure, yeah. I will post the channel, or I will post the link in the general from now on in the Discord, and I'll just put an at everyone. Thank you, Dread Darkwater. So the only useful thing he ever did? Yeah, Sir Edmonton, pretty much. But yeah, Hogselk, I'll start putting the link in the Discord in the general channel, and I'll just put an at everyone so that everyone gets the notification that the link is there. Is there a link for the Discord? There can be. I think. Did I not get your roles in? Opinionated Scotsman? I'm going to put the Discord link in, but it's going to only be a one-day link because I don't want, what's it called? I don't want people that I don't know just looking at just coming into the Discord. But I know and trust you guys. So, invite members, share link, copy link. Paste link, send. There we go. There you guys go. You guys can click on that link and join the Discord. So there's the Discord link. I think I've got. I know that I've got some. I know some of you joined last week. Just joined. Hashtag me too. Yeah, I'll let me, as soon as the stream's done, I'm gonna hop on Discord and assign rules to everyone who's just joined. My phone's probably about to go off and tell me a whole bunch of people have joined, so. Oh, why thank you, Michael Hatfield. I shall endeavor to stay awesome. So I just want to say again to everyone, thank you so much for showing up every day and continuing to watch and interact. And it's great fun. Pound me too. That's awesome. I really enjoy talking with you guys and interacting with you guys, and I'm glad you guys enjoy watching my streams. And so please like and share if you haven't already. Tweet it out and spread the word. And like I said before, if you're able and willing, there is a Streamlabs link in the description and a Patreon link as well. Like I said, the Discord link is up yeah, I saw that. We talked about that on Lords of the Night last night, and I'll probably talk about that tomorrow. No problem, Hogsilk. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. And so, like I said, thank you all for coming. And if in fact, or if any Streamlabs donations come in when I'm not streaming, they do get read as soon as the next stream happens. Because I really want to recognize anyone who does donate to me. So no matter what, your contributions get recognized, regardless of if they happen during stream or not. Please remember, join me tomorrow at 10 a.m. for the coffee stream. See you everyone on Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern for the Star Trek stream. And on Sunday night for the blind and the special at 10 p.m. Eastern, which is always great fun. And with that, everybody, I made the LOTN stream so much more fun. Oh, thank you so much. No offense to the guys. Oh. With that, guys, thank you all for coming. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great day and stay safe.